Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Harrison here from Gamma Media. Just back with another tutorial video slash just kind of messing around with ABLETON. I just got the Maschine from Native Instruments Studios. Unfortunately for this video, I left my camera at my house and I was working on another project here at the studio. I was like, you know, I might as well just do another tutorial for you guys. I mean, kind of a tutorial, but kind of just messing around. I'll talk you guys through some of the steps that I'm doing, but I haven't had time to mess around with the Maschine. So let's just jump into it. So I got the Maschine loaded up. If you double click, now the Machine's running as a slave inside Native Instruments. I have my Nexus in here, and I already have it set up for pad mode, and I'm just running in this chord set minor 1 for those of you guys who have the Maschine. Don't worry, I'm gonna have some videos of you know, everything that I'm doing here with the Maschine, but now they're playing full chords. Let's see. You can see it's playing. And I'm going to show you kind of how I build, but let's start metronome here. I'm going to turn this on. That's on. I think this for an 8-bar measure. Now, we're going to trigger here, click it on. Alright, so, do like a measure. You always want to turn off these two because it'll actually start recording it down here. And you can just click quantize on your Maschine. Turn that off. So, stretch this last one out. Now, the awesome part about Maschine is you can actually drag your MIDI, drop it in here, double click, and now everything that you played is already in here. And that's another reason why you want to make sure when you're in your Maschine, you want to delete everything after you get done, because it'll record it, or it'll play both. Make sure it's triggered. I'm going to drag a couple of drum racks over. Let's see. Drop it onto my C1. Let's go lay in some claps. Nothing fancy. Don't need to get crazy. We're just here to have a little bit of fun. Over to kicks. Find something I like. why not? So double click onto your drum rack, drag drop, make sure that it works. Oops, metronome went off. That's my bad. Doesn't have to be perfect, just get it close to what you want. Drag down, up. Now that I'm listening to the kick, I'm not really liking it. So, don't do that. What else we got? That was a little bit better. And next, we'll throw some hi-hats in. Oh, hi-hats, I usually don't play them. I just double click. Now again, fold shows you just the notes that you're playing. If you go down here into the length, you can actually just put it into however measures you want instead of dragging everything out. I'm gonna go 8. Double click. It's gonna drop your MIDI right in. Then once you get a pattern that you kind of like, I would just paste it over. And so now what I'm going to do is just copy paste that over. Control A highlights everything, bring it all down. What else? That's kind of nice. Drop that on over here. Same thing. Record. Just double click onto that. Set the length over to 8. Double click. Switch it up. Another thing, if you're using Maschine, when you go into your pattern mode, obviously I can't show you right here, but when you go into your pad mode, just always make sure to remember, you know, okay, you're on chord set and I'm on minor 1, and then make sure your note, you know, you're on, right now I'm on a C minor, because at least with this version, when you go to plugins, drag and drop, it usually wipes everything back out. So yeah, so when I click on pad mode now, it's no longer there. So in my next video, I'll kind of show you what I mean by that. Let's see. So we're gonna go over. Let's see. Nexus. Oh. Back down. Nexus. Same thing. You want to click over onto this, double click on your Nexus. Just kind of messing around, see something that I might like. Metronome on. Already have this automatically set up for an 8-bar loop. I'll dive in a little bit later, show you guys how to do that if you guys really want to know. I'm going to mute this one. Hold on. Something about this first pad on mine. Let's try that again. Wait. Highlight, delete. It's being a pain. Every time I hit it, it likes to hold. Not sure why it does that. So there's a way around that. Obviously, I'm just going to quantize it. I'm going to drag everything over, drop into here, delete that, just at least until I can figure out why exactly it's doing it. So go back to my machine, turn off my metronome, and then I'm just going to highlight everything and delete it. Same thing with that. Go back into my machine and hit fold. See, it's all singled. Control D. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I just pull the velocity down just to kind of give it, you know, the feel of something being strummed, of the guitar. So now drag my Nexus over. Let's see. Usually I like to look for a bass at this point. Used to have a really good bass that I always went to. right here. Now, when you're doing your bass lines, you could do it a couple of different ways. Let's see. So, C, D sharp, F to G. Let's see. Where we start at? G. No, C. Now, notice, I didn't do anything special. I just followed the notes through. And the beautiful part is they tell you the notes. It's a little hard to read just because of the skin that I'm using right now, but maybe I can change the look and feel. Find something where I can read the MIDI notes a little easier there. I can read them a lot easier. C, D, F, G. I mean, it's super simple, but it works. So I'm going to lay that down. And I just went up on the second G an octave. So what I did right here, I just copied the bass, went here. I'm going to play the next one. So this one I'll call like my verse bass. So what I'll do is I'll stop it here. So all I'm doing is cutting it in half. And the reason why I like to do this method is because you get a nice little crunch right when the snare or your claps come in. And same thing, Control A. That's just to make sure that, all the bass is the same velocity. So next thing, I'll just drag and drop another Nexus over, and usually at this point, I start looking for a lead. This is always the long part, is finding a good lead. Let's see. Lead. No. And that's kind of cool there too. Let's mute this machine. So I got sidetracked finding the lead, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you just really want to build. That's all that you're worried about, is just building, and however you want to lay out later is fine. Sometimes the more, the merrier. And then with leads, I just like to mess around. Like, obviously, I'll play within the same notes, or I should say the same scale if you're into theory. And you just want to listen to it, don't, if it sounds off, it probably is because it's off. So I'm just going to go ahead and record this lead because I think it sounds pretty good. And it's just something simple, but Control A, Control U. So sometimes what I like to do too with the leads is I'll highlight everything, Control D, and then I'll just figure out, what note I was on it. What does it say? So I was on a C, and then I'll just take it up to the C, an octave. Yeah, I'll bring it back down, and then what I'll do is I'll go half octave. See, that's on the D5. I'll just go up to D6, highlight everything. That's way off. D6. What is your problem? Oh, that's why. So, what are you on? Either way, I'm not a big fan of raising it up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this instant, it doesn't. Okay, so original. So, I mean, I could go on more and just keep building and building and building, but for the sake of the tutorial and me just kind of messing around for you guys, kind of showing you my workflow with making, just a beat in general. Next thing I like to do is start going through, hits solo. That's going to just play just this. And then I just go through and I start renaming. I'll just say hook, organs, clap, kick, hi-hats, open hat. And then I'll say verse, guitar plucks, and this will be bass for hook. This will be the verse bass. And then we'll call this single plucks. And then we'll do synth lead. And then next thing I do is I just color coordinate. So I'll just right click and I'll just go down and, you know, randomly choose a color. It makes it a little bit easier when you're organizing everything. It's up to you. If you want everything on your screen red, you could do everything on your screen red. I don't suggest that. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the first one, go down to the very last one, drag it over, and then drop. Then I'm going to highlight these, Control D. Now, this is the way that I like to build mine, is everything, it starts, I usually start with everything. Obviously, this isn't going to sound good because I broke this thing up into hooks and verses. So I'll take the lead back up here. I'm going to go to my plucks, bring them up here. Bass, hook. I pretty much like keeping all my percussion together. It's just, you know, kind of an OCD method. That way when I cut, I usually start cutting through there. So for this one, I'm going to start with the hook organs. I'm going to take out the plucks, the leads, the bass, verse, all that good stuff. Now another thing too, when you toggle back and forth, you can do that or you can just hit tab. The other thing too is you'll have this little play button here. That makes you so you can use this track. Just quick note. So, take off the mute. And then make sure everything's highlighted again. So another thing too, Maschine is still playing. Just delete that. And this will open these windows up. So we're just going to go. So, I mean, if you listen to it, the hook has a little bit of swing to it. It starts at a different time. This is more, you know, robotic. It plays, you know, right on each bar. This one kind of swings, you know, a quarter bar before, you know, and just so you know, if you hear it, that's what you're hearing. Stop it. So with those, I'm going to take out these. Just going to move them over for the verse. And you know what? Take that. We're going to go back over here. This time we're going to take the verse hook and drop it in. I actually kind of like so we delete that. Keeps coming in. this is just kind of like a quick template, you know, that I like to do. And I'll come back over and oops, wrong verse. So this is usually what I'll do when I come to messing around and kind of tracking everything out, just to make sure it sounds semi the way I want it to sound. I just suggest find your own rhythm, you know, find whatever works for you. This has worked for me. And then, you know, I'll get a basic structure layout. Then I'll start to add in, you know, maybe like a bridge somewhere in here and kind of go through and digest some more. So this is just a quick tutorial of me messing around and kind of showing you workflow. And I'll have another video coming up here with, you know, the camera view on the Maschine, pairing it with Nexus, or not Nexus, sorry, but ABLETON Live 9, and show you guys kind of how to run it through. And if you have any questions, you know, feel free just to, you know, throw them down in the comments. And you guys take care. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I got more videos coming soon. Good night.